Division games aren't pretty. Division games are different. With that said, you have an offense, and I was looking this up last night because I think we do have something special here.
I'm saying.
Brock Purdy's playing the best football. There's not two guys on the planet playing better football than Brock Purdy. Not two guys on the planet. Running back, wide receiver, we'll see Tyreek tonight. There's not two players playing better football than Brock Purdy on the planet right now.
I think it's Dak and Purdy in terms of best quarterbacks this year.
And even I lean Brock because of the head-to-head matchup. I lean head-to-head.
Which is fair.
And I'm looking at the consistency.
I'm just trying to give Dak some love.
No, Dak deserves love.
I do believe Dak right now is having a special season.
No, he is. He is. And we may see him down the line.
And thank you, Purdy, Dak, yesterday.
Thanks, Dak, yesterday. They rolled the Eagles. Something's not right with the Eagles. Maybe they're gas. I don't know. But something's not right with them. They don't look good. But Brock Purdy is playing better football. I think he's playing as well as any 49er quarterback since 1994. And he may be having a better season than Steve Young in 94. We'll get to the data in a second. Debo and Ayuk. You got one of the best duos in 49ers history, at least in the last 40 years. These two guys are special. Debo has an outside chance at having over 1,000 yards receiving.
No, I think he's going to get it.
He might get it, Shasky.
He's at almost 800. You got Kittle over 800. They've got 4 more games.
And they're going bird hunt. They're 3-0 bird hunt right now.
Even if I go off of 16 games, because to me, like, the dilution of the numbers and everything off 17 games, that extra game does matter, right?
It does matter.
For like all time, go off 16 games. Right now, Purdy's on pace to break Garcia's record for passing, to have the most touchdowns in Niner history, and it looks like to me they're on pace to have 3,000-yard receivers.
Yeah,
That's
it might happen. It might happen.
A 1,500-yard runner.
Yeah, you may get a guy who may go for 2,000-yard all-purpose yards in Christian McCaffrey.
Crazy.
It's fun. It's funny. You settle into the TV because I gave the tickets to Ed and her friend and Baby Chess, so I'm settled into the TV, getting rid of the multi-view. And I missed the first play because I'm trying to figure everything out on YouTube. So I go to Hulu, right? I jump over to Hulu and said, what happened? Why the hell is the crowd going crazy? I rewinded back into step man Christian McCaffrey on the first play of the game.
His ability to slow step, stutter, and then explode through a hole at full speed, it's unmatched.
It's unmatched. The speed that Debo has when he gets the ball in his hands. The speed that Kittle has when he gets the ball in his hands. Third and Ayuk. Ayuk makes any play.
You know what I noticed yesterday that you brought up about Ayuk? His downfield blocking is so underrated.
First play of the game.
He just unbelievable job at sealing off guys that are bigger than him, safeties and sometimes linebackers. And then how about his ability to sprint downfield to get in front of someone? I actually thought Witherspoon made a hell of a play to even stop it from being a touchdown.
I love Christian McCaffrey getting up and pointing at Ayuk. It's like, that's you, dog.
Yes.
That's you. This play doesn't happen unless you're not blocking downfield. You get the line play. You get Fred Warner playing all around. This feels special. Brock Purdy, but it all starts with him. Shasky, he's throwing in stride, pinpoint spirals. And I'm thinking, what about the way he just resets his feet when he evades the rush out of the pocket? He evades the rush out of his pocket, and he's not quick to just run and try to get 5 yards. He's not going to, just deke and dunk it. He's keeping his eyes downfield while resetting his feet outside of the pocket and making sure that he's throwing accurately and on time. This guy throws a catchable football. I don't know if it's the most powerful football that's thrown in the NFL, Josh Allen and Justin Herbert and all these guys, but just in terms of hitting his receivers in stride, giving them the ability to get that yak, which the Niners lead in, that yak, yards after catch. We're not talking Hennessy here, folks. When he throws it on time, with spirals, with accuracy, I mean, there's not a player playing better than this guy right now. And I think he's having a better year than Steve Young did in 1994. I swear, because I think the competition has been stiffer for this version of the 49ers than it was back in 94. I'm not taking anything away from 94. That's a Super Bowl team, one of the greatest teams of all time. But strength of schedule that year, the Niners beat up on a lot of bad teams. They did what they had to do. There was one game that year. It was Dallas.
Yeah.
You beat Dallas to get home field advantage. This year you had the gauntlet on both ends of the schedule, Shasky.
I mean,
think about that.
I'm trying to soak in what you're saying right now because Steve won the MVP that year, and when you bring his name up, people are triggered.
Yeah,
when you bring up Joe Montana, people are triggered. But Bonte, they had 12 explosive plays yesterday. By the definition of the NFL. Like, they were unbelievable yesterday. Yeah. And if you give this guy an opportunity to hit someone over the top, he doesn't miss. He's 64% completion on throws over 20 yards.
This is incredible. 64.
He's 6 points higher than anyone else in the league.
I mean, listen to this offense yesterday, Shasky, because we're going to get to the lines. 888-957-9570. Niners did what they had to do. After a big game against Philadelphia, they wake up against Seattle, and there is no letdown whatsoever. They go out and win and cover the spread. But this offense yesterday, Shasky,
give it to me,
averaged 9.9 yards per play yesterday. That marks the highest average yards per play in a single game since they had 9.9 against the Bills back in 2012, and they beat the Bills 45-3. 2012, 9.9 yards a play. They registered 527 total yards. So they did whatever they wanted to do. Sure, was there some hairy moments? Absolutely. Was there some stutters along the way? Absolutely. But they won that game going away. You saw all the explosives on this play. So it's Purdy spreading the ball around. It's Ayuk doing this thing, going over 1,000 for the second consecutive season. There's Deebo Samuel, who has 5 touchdowns in 2 games. There's George Kittle. Hey, remember me at tight end? And then you got Christian McCaffrey. There's an embarrassment of riches, and we need to soak this in because this offense is not slowing down whatsoever in the month of December.
There's an extra game. So, again, it's going to dilute some of the numbers. This has a chance to be the most prolific offense in 49er history. By the numbers, the data, the 2 best offenses in 49er history, 98-93, 6,800 yards, 61 touchdowns.
Wow.
And they're on pace to tie that in terms of touchdowns right now, 61 touchdowns, and to get close to 7,000 yards, all purpose. They're going to get the most first downs they've ever had. They're going to have the most explosive plays, and they're going to average the most points they've ever had. Like that's what you're looking at right now. Now, again, they get an extra game, so it's going to dilute it just a little, but you're looking at one of the most explosive Niner offenses of all time.
I believe it.
With a guy in his first full season. That's the thing I'm having a hard time wrapping myself around. Steve Young was in his 30s when he put together that MVP season. Now, he was a quote-unquote newer starter, but he was seasoned. Right. He had been there for multiple years. He had the trials and tribulations of losing in the playoffs.
Yep.
Brock Purdy has played 1 full season. I mean, outside of Buster Posey's first full season as a big leaguer, is there any player you could think of who hit the ground running, even Bosa's rookie year, doesn't come close to this?
I was going to say Bosa. But this is the quarterback.
That's what I'm saying.
This is the quarterback. When he's touching the ball every single play. Now, Steph's rookie year was marred by some injuries. He had a late push. A lot of people don't remember his rookie year. The Buster Posey comparison this time around, when it comes to rookie seasons, the biggest impact. Buster had the 3-month stretch. It's Brock Purdy,
right?
By a long shot. I swear to God, Shasky, I'm watching this game, and I'm thinking to myself in the third quarter, and I'm in awe of some of the passes he's making yesterday, just on time, in rhythm. The play to Deebo Samuel. Greg Olson's on the broadcast. I don't know if you watched the broadcast version back in, but Greg Olson's on the broadcast, and look at Deebo's just got out there jogging. Purdy puts it out there, and then you see his second gear speed, and Purdy just knew. I'm sitting there watching. I can't believe I'm about to say this. I said, I think we're watching a future statue guy in Brock Purdy. It feels like we're watching a future statue guy.
You're ready to say that? Wow.
Well, I don't know why I'm ready.
No.
It's his first full season. And I'm looking, I'm saying, how is he going to regress in this offense with these weapons? He's not.
Well,
he's not. He left some stuff on the table yesterday, and he still threw for over 300 yards. He still had the touchdown passes. And I'm thinking to myself, I might be watching a future statue guy.
I mean, Bonte, when you're sitting, I sit in the end zone like you sit in the end zone, and you're watching, and I'll say, got him. That means he's got a guy with a step or two, right? When I say got him, he always gets him. He always hits that guy. Like yesterday, the George Kittle play, you could see it developing, and I was like, he's got him. And before I could even say it, he's already ripping it. And it's slowly layered over the linebackers, over the safety. On the play with Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk's coming across. There was a check down. He didn't want the check down.
He doesn't want him.
He allowed Ayuk to get open a little more and then threw the ball just in front of Brandon Ayuk to where the safety couldn't even make a play on it. I don't think people realize rolling to your left, resetting your feet, and throwing that ball on the throw the way he did on the line, the way he did with Ayuk moving, the degree of difficulty is through the roof.
Now, the benefit of being at home is you can replay that play over and over and over. And I just wanted to see how Brock Purdy reset his feet.
It's beautiful. It was like a shortstop.
Right, it was like a shortstop. He rolled out. He's looking downfield. Oh, I have time. I have patience. There's a calmness to him in the pocket where, look, I don't want to get on Jimmy Garoppolo, but I think we could all agree. With Jimmy G, at times it just felt like the play was just rushed. It felt like there was just panic in the pocket. Like, if I don't get it out in 3 seconds, then I got to get rid of it somehow. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know how many plays we saw where it's like, there's no extensions of the play. With Brock Purdy, it's like, okay, well, 1001, 1002, 1003. Wait, it's not there. Let me roll out a little bit. Let me see if I can find something.
Yeah.
And he's just total. He's got the total patience. He's got the patience of a shortstop, like you said, when the play's in the hole and he's getting the ball out of his glove. And he flips the hips. I'm like, this guy is so patient. So it felt like at times I'm like, wow, this guy's going to be a good one for a long time. When you have those traits this young in your career, this early in your career, there's no going back.
He sees the field. There was a play, he could have ran for a first down, but Wagner's out on the edge. It's 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. They're in the red zone. And he runs out to allow the linebacker to come up to him, and then he looks back to the middle of the field, and then bang, hits Debo. Should have been a touchdown on the Debo play, and Debo plows 3 or 4 guys, and then Shanahan thankfully gives Debo the little end-around play, and he gets that touchdown right there. But, like, you either have that or you don't. His feel for the game is unbelievable. And I thought the offensive line didn't give him a lot of time. On the Debo bomb, he had a great platform to throw off of. Outside of that, I thought he was hurried a lot.